Hey guys, welcome back to Chariot Palmistry. My name is Sulabh Jain, and in this video we are going to be having a look at the energy around the world in the month of June. We're going to be making some predictions on cryptos and stocks and gold and silver and all that stuff. Now, before we get into this video, for the last couple of videos I've been making, I've been teasing a new video that I'm working on that I'm going to call the most important video I will ever make. I sat down to start to record it. It ended up being 90 minutes long. And I don't want you guys to sit through a 90-minute video, and plus it's going to take a long time just to edit that whole thing down anyway. So I'm actually going to break that down into a smaller series of videos. So stay tuned for the next couple weeks, I hope, for the most important video series that I'm ever going to make. That's going to be one of those life-changing videos where it puts the whole world into context for you and actually helps you prepare your life for the next several generations into your family. Now, having said that, let's jump into this video. I suppose the first thing I should start with is just to give you the general lay of the land of the energy here in the month of June. We've gone through a chaotic couple months in the start of the year. February, March, April, for most people, would have rattled you guys. Right now in May, that's more or less the recovery month, where instead of the world going downwards, it kind of plateaus a bit. The next few months, things get better and better. In fact, June, July, and most of August should be good months for most people. The next chaotic period for the world is going to be at the end of August, and more so into September. I'll give you guys plenty of heads up about that. Now, before I do get into this video, I do want to answer a question that I've been getting from a lot of you guys. That is, which are the best cryptocurrencies out there? It's a bit of an open-ended question, but I'd like to have a stab at answering this for you guys. So what I'll do is I'll put up on the screen right now a list of the tokens that I really like. Don't take this as financial advice, guys. I'm not telling you guys to go out and buy this. I'm not saying there are other tokens that aren't better than this. It's just that these are the ones that I personally like the energy of. And I've got my toe in the water with a lot of these tokens. So they're in alphabetical order. It's basically Aave, ADA, which is Cardano, AGIX, AVAX, BNB, BTC, eGold. Actually, eGold, I'm expecting this to have a stellar month in the next like 30 days or so. There's one crypto I think is going to have a really cool run-up. It's this one here. But then ETH, which just had its ETF thing approved in the US, Fetch AI, Phantom, HBAR, INJ, ITOX, Jupiter token, Matic, Nia, Render, Rune, also known as Thorchain, SNX, Sol, T-Fuel, Theta, VThor, XVS, which is also known as Venus. So that's the list of tokens I'm following. Again, don't want to upset anyone or advise anyone. If you guys want to get into this, do your own research and figure out if you should be getting into this. These are just the tokens that I personally like myself. So, having said that, let's also talk a little bit just about debt and what's going on in the world right now. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I've got my eye on Ketu, which is transiting through Virgo at the moment. That's a very dangerous place for debt. You see, Virgo is the natural sixth house of the zodiac, and Ketu is the planet for detachment. Now, the sixth house of the zodiac, amongst other things, it rules debt. So when the planet for detachment comes into the house of debt, it tends to wipe it out. I'm expecting a lot of debt to be written off during this 18-month period that Ketu is transiting through Virgo. We're seeing the inklings of it in the Evergrande thing with Chinese real estate. We're seeing some bond market chaos starting up in the US as well. It's the curveball with a lot of the predictions I'm going to make. See, Rahu and Ketu are the most difficult planets to time. You can generally give an 18-month window on when they give their effects. You can't narrow it down to like a single month or week or what have you. But keep your eye on the debt markets and the bond markets more generally. They'll give the lay of the land on if there is any chaos in the next couple months. Now, before we talk about the predictions for this month, let's review my predictions from last month. So this is a screenshot of what I thought would be happening in the month of May. And I've made a couple iffy predictions that time. I predicted the stock market fall to take place up until the second week of May. That didn't end up happening. I then predicted the stock market rise to take place in the third week. Now, the stock market generally did rise over the month of May, but it wasn't in that time. So I got the prediction right, but the timing wrong. So I'm only going to give myself a half mark on that one. I also predicted a gold and silver price rise in the second week of the month. And like the previous prediction, the gold and silver price did rise, just not specifically in the second week. So half a mark on that one too. Then my last prediction was that the cryptocurrencies would start rising. And that did happen. I think Bitcoin at one point was up something like 20% on the month itself. So I only got 2 out of 4 right that month, which is really bad by my standards. For those of you keeping score, that's 10 predictions correct out of 14 so far this year. So that's the month of May. Let's talk about June right now. I've got a fair few predictions this month. The first is that there's going to be a general US dollar fall over this month. My second prediction is that there should be a gold and silver price fall in the first or second week of this month, followed by a gold and silver price rise from the third week onwards of June. I'm also predicting an oil price rise to take place. But unlike gold, which I think is going to go down and then up, I think oil should generally be up the whole month, which is a bit of an oddball type of prediction to make because usually when the US dollar falls, gold, silver and oil all go up at the same time. There's going to be some energy shock in the markets, I think, generally sometime this month, that should push oil higher. And my final prediction for this month is that I'm expecting the stock market to keep rising generally throughout this month as well. Prediction number 6 is I'm expecting the cryptocurrencies to be booming throughout this entire month as well. Now I'm going to put a caveat on this because I think the last month of June there could be a slight correction with the crypto markets. It's not going to be as significant as what happened in April, I think it was, but it is going to be a little bit of a correction. But putting that to one side, throughout this whole month, cryptocurrencies should be going up. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you do have any questions, put them in the comment section below. Thanks a lot.